In this video, I'm going to teach you how Immortal support players are thinking. We are going to watch a high Immortal game and I'm going to review my own replay. I'm going to explain you guys what am I doing and what I think about my own steps, so you can implement that in your own games. Before the laning stage is going to start, I want you to think and look at the enemy heroes and your own lane partner. I have an Omni Knight on my lane and I'm playing probably against a Wraith King and Dazzle or a Disruptor. So I want you to think about what items can I buy and how do I need to play the lane. And in this example right there, I know Omni Knight is pretty strong. I'm a Rubik, so I'm strong as well. And we're playing against Disruptor Wraith King. If we're playing it correct on the lane and we don't die out of position, we're gonna actually smack them and they wanna itemize for that. That's the reason why I have a stick, because they're spamming spells, and I have a grenade because we have kill potential on them. First of all, I want you to always try to block your wave, because you're gonna get a better laning position. You're gonna have a much easier time to actually fight the enemies and pull the wave back. Like as you can see, I'm even looking at middle right now because I'm thinking about, yo, what is going on in the other lanes? And I was checking out if I have an Exort Invoker or a Quasvex Invoker. So in this lane, there are two ways of playing. Either I'm playing on the right side where I'm standing right now, or I'm playing on the top left side to just right click the Wraith King and let Omni tank the spells and damage from the Disruptor, and I just hit the Wraith King over and over again, and we're gonna pressure them. If it's working out, I can't guarantee you, but I want to make sure there's one rule. If you play on the right side, you need to make sure that you win the trades against the enemy position 5. If you play on the left side, then you need to make sure that your offlaner is tanky or strong enough to take the hits from the enemy position 5. So he's not getting heavily harassed and you can just hit the enemy position 1 and you feel safe and you can just go together whenever somebody's out of position. But as you can see, I changed my plan up. I'm playing on the left side now because I know my Omni Knight doesn't care about the Disruptor right clicks and he's just gonna tank through it probably. So I'm just hitting the Wraith King right now and I'm chilling. Now the Disruptor is doing the same thing, he's playing on the left side. And the good thing is, I don't really mind that because I'm still strong in my opinion and I'm getting a deny on the range creep because of that. And we are very happy because we can pull back the wave and we are chilling right now. We are just in a good position. Like my Omni Knight is getting a little bit pressure, but it doesn't really matter because I'm blocking the small camp and I'm checking the big camp if it's blocked as well. Sadly it is. So I want you to make sure to unblock this big camp, especially if you play Radiant offlane. You literally just need one sentry to unblock it and you see the entire camp if there is a ward. And I'm gonna give you one big tip as well. Always place the sentry on the bottom left. So you might be lucky you're gonna see a laning ward as well, as I do later in the game. Like right now, not much is happening. My Omni Knight is farming. Disruptor is rewarding my sentry because he has more sentries than me usually. That's a position 4 life, sadly. But I'm just sitting on the right side because I know they can't really go on me. And I'm just hitting the Disruptor and I'm winning the trades anytime. Getting another deny, very good. Remember, whenever you play offlane or safe lane as a support, you always want to try to deny together with your offlaner. If you don't want to communicate, just try to ping like I do right now and just hit it together. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, shit happens, at least you tried it together. The sad part on this lane is basically I have Q skilled because of fight at the runes, so I can't really secure the ranges. That's the only big problem we have on this lane, but we literally just lost one range creep the entire lane, I think. So we're pretty good. But as you can see, I'm just playing on the left. I'm trying to be annoying for the Wraith King, and the Disruptor is dealing not so much damage to my Omni Knight. That's the reason why we can do this. If they deal too much damage like they do right now, they're gonna lose a lot of HP because I'm gonna just right click them and I'm gonna deal more damage than they do at some point if I get to hit. Right now the lane is very stable. My Omni Knight has a decent farm. As you can see, my Omni Knight has more farm than the Wraith King even, so he's doing fine. He's not mega under farm, but he's doing fine. And in this situation, we literally just go on the Wraith King because we have spells up, we feel like we are stronger than them, and we just use all our spells. If it works, it's good. If it doesn't, it's whatever. My Omni gets a full reset and he's gonna be full HP, full mana again on the lane. The good play right there is basically the Omni dies and I'm getting solo XP. So it's very good for my game. And in my opinion, I'm gonna want them on this lane because I'm a Rubik. And if I get experience, I'm gonna get so much stronger than the Wraith King and the Disruptor together. Right now, the lane is very basic. Everything is going well. We're just chilling here, farming. All is good. Now the Disruptor was thinking about a glimpse. Sadly, he couldn't get it. And remember one thing. If you play against a Disruptor, please stand still and don't move so much. If you move, you're gonna take more damage. As you can see, I'm literally just sitting still because I know he wants to glimpse me. I don't take much damage and I just kill him. He just dies. If I die for that, it's fine because I wanna reset my HP, reset my mana and come back to the lane and be strong. Plus, the wave is actually pushing into us. That means my Omni Knight is gonna get free farm and I can do whatever I want. And the good benefit right now is, while I'm dead, I'm looking to other lanes, what I can do. And I'm thinking like, yo, do I really want to TP top? And at the end I did it. In a lot of games you can like TP middle, get a cheeky kill there, or you can even TP bottom and fight the enemies there because you have the time to do this. Because the wave is in front of your tower, your Omni Knight is fine, they cannot kill him, and you have like 1 minute to do whatever you want, and then you can come back with the portal, for example. Or if you TP middle, you can just run back. Like right now I'm thinking about the big camp, I want to reward it, even though it's very late. Like I recommend you doing this on minute 1 or 2 even. Like not so late, but at least I did it, you know. And the good thing is, as I said, try to place it more on the left. I placed it very in the middle. And if you place it on the left, you might be lucky to find a ward like I did here. Like if I place it more on the left, it's guaranteed. This one is pretty lucky. But if you place it more on the left, you're gonna get the entire camp as well. Plus you might be lucky seeing a even more deeper laning ward if they placed one. But like right now, this lane is basically kind of over. Like Omni Knight gonna get more farm than the Wraith King at some point. And Omni Knight just like literally stays there and nobody is gonna touch him. Because he's just too strong at some point. With the repel, kinda unkillable. So my thinking right now in this game is literally either I wanna pull the big camp and like be annoying, or I wanna kill the Wraith King. Because I don't have a TP to actually punish other lanes. So we're just like punishing the Wraith King, we're following him. He almost dies, all good. We're trying to pressure because nobody's happy, like nothing is happening right now, Disruptor's missing, and we can do whatever you want. We're just punishing him again. And we don't care. And now I'm just pulling the big camp. And whenever you pull the big camp, you have a choice. Either you want to bait the enemies there and kill them, or you want to do something else on the other lane. I'm deciding myself to like still stay there. I could have actually TP'd middle or TP'd bottom. As you can see on the minimap, the tiny is already middle. So I could have TP'd there if I want to, because the wave is pushing into us. And my Omni is going to be fine under the tower. But I'm deciding to stay here because I want to help my Omni Knight. Otherwise, he's going to get pressured even harder. And I don't want that to happen. Remember, if you want to leave the lane, always place a ward so your offlaner sees it and he can play around it. At least give him some information before you leave and give him a decent laning position as he has right now in front of his tower. Like, I'm still watching middle because I'm thinking like, yo, I want to do something. And like, I'm just looking. I'm not really like forcing. And now I see a play because I see the Dazzle is just greedy. And that's what I'm using. Plus, I see the tiny right now in the minimap as well, so he's not close. We're just getting a quick chance to do it. All works. Nice. Maybe we get a kill, almost. Sadly we didn't. But the Dazzle is very low and he probably cannot contest the action rune anymore. And that's like the big play we did there. If we get it, it's perfect. We do. All good. Dazzle doesn't get the rune. And this game is kind of ruined right now. Because he feels very awkward. And they're fighting bottom here. I'm just connecting, killing them, all good. But that was basically the laning stage until to now. The laning stage usually is like over between 6 or even between like 5 to 7 minutes because of the action runes and because of the XP runes. The laning stage is over and now you are thinking like, what should I do? The answer is very clear. If you didn't got a tower with the first catapult timing, I want you to abuse the next catapult timing at 10 minutes. There's always a catapult spawning every 5 minutes. So remember that. You want to abuse the catapult and you want to force stuff around it. Even though it doesn't work out, you need to bring numbers and you need to tell your teammates, yo guys, let's collapse in a certain area or try to take a tower. Like as you can see, we're sitting middle as 3 heroes and we're just forcing stuff. And the reason behind that is basically because our Sven is jungling and we can't really kill the Wraith King twice without dying there. So that's the reason why we are sitting middle and we're trying to like own the enemies there. We're starting a fight even as 3, it doesn't matter. Just force something and do something. Whenever you play like this, you're gonna like see eventually you're gonna get a tower and eventually you're gonna kill them all and take like all the map. You just wanna collapse with more numbers than enemies, and if you do this, especially with ultis ready, you're gonna destroy them. As you can see, we're pushing middle right now and we're getting the tower. Just because we were forcing middle randomly at the point where we got the catapult. Like we didn't even abuse the catapult timing here. So that's like, it's a mistake, but also like we are so strong that we understand we can do this. And that's the reason why we do that. And right now we feel like, yo, Invoker farms middle, Sven is farming jungle bottom. So me and Warlock, we're just running top and helping my Omni Knight. And we're trying to kill the Wraith King. But as I said before, it is very hard to kill Wraith King twice without dying. And you're gonna see in this replay that exactly what I said is gonna happen. We're gonna try to force it because we understand Tidehunter is middle, Tiny's middle. That basically means Disruptor is gonna TP middle as well and Dazzle probably gonna come middle as well. That's the reason why we're running top. But it's still risky because we know they have TPs. But we still force it because we understand that we need to do something. Our Sven is farming, the enemies can't really farm with pressure the Wraith King. And if we lose a fight, shit happens, but at least we're trying to punish the enemies for what they're doing. We're punishing the Wraith King a little bit. Our Omni dies first, it is bad, but we're still getting a kind of decent trade around there. And that is just because we were collapsing there, and we were lucky that the Tidehunter has no TP. I can guarantee you, if the Sven is in this situation with us as well, we would have won this fight instantly. If he just used the portal like 10 seconds before and comes from behind, or even just TPs to the tower. Like, we're just lacking some damage here, but we're still getting some kills out of that, so that is okay. And we're forcing quite a lot. Like, the Tidehunter is showing middle, sadly, without Sven TPing there. That's like the only bad thing. But overall, we are forcing stuff, we're doing something, and we're getting kills. And the enemy is like getting not the best trade. They thought they're gonna kill all of us, but they didn't. But that's like a very big benefit for us. And now we just like keep forcing them. Like, we don't really care about anything besides our Sven getting farm, and we're pressuring the enemies. And that's what we're doing. We just pressure, pressure, pressure. And you need to do this in every pub. After the laning stage is over, I want you guys to think about pressure and how to get the enemies to react, or how to outfarm the enemies. And you usually outfarm the enemies with like better heroes at farming, or you fight at positions where you can get an advantage. For example, under your tower, or close to your teammates, and you have 5 people there reacting to it. So you want to abuse these plays every single time. Because as you can see right now, we have 2 heroes farming, we are chilling top as 3, we have everything ready kind of. And we just now, we want to push the tower and we want to force the enemies to do something. And we're going to see if they even come. They're trying to come. They're forcing on the Omni Knight a little bit, but they can't really kill him. Because we are behind him, we just secure the Omni Knight. Now we can see the Wraith King is middle and the Tidehunter is middle as well. Disruptor is collapsing middle as well, so we're automatically reacting to it. But the important part is, the Omni Knight is still pushing the top wave out. So that means he's doing this because he knows he can TP middle, or he has no TP, depends, and he can react to it later on, but he needs to push the wave first to do that. And me and Invoker, we're just like forcing middle a little bit with some spells. Tidehunter almost no HP. Now he can't really fight, because he's way too low. And just because I'm sitting middle here, they can't really get it down. Otherwise, if we were sitting top still, and like just staying there and doing nothing, we would have actually lost our mid tower against the Tidehunter with melee armor. The good part is, the Omni Knight is safe, the enemies fucked up their gank, and we have a like free entry to top again, because we understand that Tiny's bottom, and the Wraith King is probably farming as well. Yes, he's showing middle, and we can do whatever we want. We saw them smoking on the ward, and now we are free to do like whatever we want, because we understand the enemies are splitted, and we can still fight them. Like, if we have our golem ready, we are 10 times stronger than them at any point. Just because we have an insanely farmed Rubik, and we have an insanely farmed Invoker as well. And we both deal a lot of damage if we get to use our spells. And this is like a cheeky fight here. Tidehunter showed his blink, but I understand this. I'm playing on the edge of the fight. I'm not just like running in. And I understand what they want to do. He's gonna Ravage at this point, and I'm just gonna steal it. Getting the Ravage, maybe getting like a turnaround. It's not the best fight because our Invoker's dying sadly, but it's better than nothing, you know. Instead of losing everybody, we're getting like trade-offs, and we might even kill the Wraith King if we're lucky enough. We're getting the Dazzle, getting the Tiny as well, all good. We took the perfect fight just because our supports were not in the middle of the fight and we didn't die first. So when you play support, try to like let other people bait, or tell your teammates that you wanna bait, and then you can bait so they are ready. Otherwise you're gonna freely die and your teammates are not even reacting to it, because maybe they're not ready, maybe they don't understand it, because they can't think in your head. You need to give the information what you wanna do, so your teammates can react to that. So I'm going base. I see my Sven is getting going on top. It's a very tough call if I want to TP top there. I still do it because I understand I still have the time. Like, they don't have the best burst on enemy side. And just because I was TPing and our Warlock is already there with the Sven, we're actually getting 3 kills without the Sven even dying. And just because like I understood it is a risky call, like not a lot of people would see that. The fact that the Warlock is close to the Sven is winning this fight. That's like the important part. So I want you to get in your head. One support needs to play with a core almost the entire game. You can be greedy sometimes and outpush waves, but you need to understand when you leave your carry or your core, they might have a risk of dying, or the enemies are like smoking killing him. And if you are not ready there, you can't really protect them. Plus you can't bait the smoke or whatever. Like, you can't just like break the smoke for your core. So especially as post 5, you need to always think about that, where the enemies are and what they want to do. If they want to kill you post 1, you either need to be ready to save him, or you need to be ready to proc the smoke and die for him. As a post 4, you can also do that, but I would recommend you like out pushing waves a lot and being like around the area, around your teammates. Never be like this guy that like always proc smokes, especially on 4. You can do it, but it's up to you. I wouldn't recommend it because As a pos 4, you can be a core as well, and you can be very greedy as well. You can proc smokes if you have like items like blink, force stuff or whatever, but never just suicide every single time. Let the 5 player do that. Like right now, we feel like, yo, the enemies almost don't have a map. We don't see anybody on the map besides the Tide. We just want to force something because we are strong. Like me and Walker and the Warlock, we feel strong and we want to fight. We find the Wraith King because we understood he has no ulti, he died before. And with Mana Burn, of course, and we just kill him. We don't even hesitate. Now we go away. We might trade our Wraith King, but this is fine. It's a pos 5 for a pos 1 trade. And we don't really care. But in this situation right there, you can see the communication is not clear. Our Invoker is telling Omni Knight or Sven to come. None of them is reacting, and both of us were thinking like, yo, he's coming. But we were so focused on the fight that we didn't look at our minimap, so the enemies just got a free fight because the Omni's not there. And my Invoker's died because of that. If the Omni is there, we just own them. All of them. Because we're gonna outnumber them, or we are like in the same numbers, but we are stronger because we have more items and our lineup is just better right now. So you need to always think, especially like mid and late game. Whatever you fight and you outnumber your enemy, you're probably gonna win the fight. 99%. Outnumbering is so strong in Dota, and it was always strong and it will be always strong. If you outnumber your enemy, the chances are 10 times higher that you win the fight instead of like doing the opposite. It's very rare that like you win a fight 3v5 or something, or 4v5 even. But it is like very likely whenever you have 5 and the enemies are not like ready as 5 as well from the start, that you win the fight. Or you get a pick off and then you can take the fight after and you're gonna win the fight freely. So just think about these things every single time you take a fight. So Invoker's respawning right now. The call should be, yo Invoker, TP wherever you want. Like he wants to TP bottom, and you can see clearly me, Omni Knight, and the Warlock, we are just like moving to him because we understand the only play the enemies have is to kill the Invoker when he TPs bottom, or kill the Omni Knight or whatever. So we are just grouping because we understand the enemy is gonna do the same, and you need to group as your team. Like Sven can farm, your pos 1 is whatever, but the other 3 or 4 people should always try to group. Or like being close to each other, because the enemies can always be smoked and try to kill you. And if this happens, you have a problem if you're not ready. I want you guys to get this in your mind, that you need to group in the mid and late game. And if you don't do this, you're gonna have a horrible experience, because you're gonna lose every single fight because the enemies are outnumbering you or you're not ready. So we're taking rush because we understood the enemies were bottom, we saw somebody out pushing bottom and middle. And if the enemies are coming here, they're gonna probably lose. So important as well, me and Warlock, we are proccing smokes. He's invis, he's just like chilling there, and I'm sitting on the high ground because I understand if the enemies are coming, we're gonna destroy them because I'm just gonna blink out or whatever, then proc the smoke and it's a free fight because you're gonna see them. But we see the disruptor bottom, that means it's guaranteed that everybody of the enemy side is around bottom lane. So we just like taking the rush freely. Now we go bottom because we understood they were playing bottom. Sven is TPing to the disruptor and the rest is TPing to the Wraith King because we wanna kill him. So poking, poking, poking. He already died once. Let's see if the Wraith King is dying again. Yes, he did. Sven killed the Tiny instead of the Disruptor, so that's pretty lucky. Disruptor also dying. So we literally did like 2 plays at the same time because the enemies were also split up. They were not together, they were not ready, and we just abused it. So now it's the classic path, minute 20 to 25. Either you farmed until this point and then you will group up, or you want to already like group up because you are strong enough. And if you are strong enough, group up with your team, take the towers, push the sides or whatever, and just farm the entire map. Don't let the enemies breathe. Just destroy them all over the map. And if they want to take a fight, go for it. Look. The Tide is alone right now. The enemies are TPing in, they're not ready. And we can just take this fight if we're ready. Like, we get a good fight just because we were together again. And Walker is sadly not there, but like the rest of us is together. And this could be a very good fight if the communication in this game were good. Because like right now, I feel like, yo, let's fight, I have Ravage. Sadly, we don't do it. Because my Sven is like, no, let's go back. And my Walker's like, yo, let's go back. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like right now, I'm very hesitate to blink in. I'm like telling them, yo, bait, 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 but they don't really want to. Like, it doesn't work. Sadly, the enemies are like smart as well. They're not gonna do this. And sadly, I can't blink in, and I'm actually dying against this. So that's pretty sad. But like overall, like the mindset should be always, if we have 5 people ready there, we're actually destroying them. If the Invoker was in this position. But Invoker pushed middle, so that's also fine. Because out pushing the wave and then connecting to your team is always a very good play if you can get it off. So my team is taking this fight over there, they're actually doing it because we're just so much stronger. And we understand this, you need to abuse this as well. Whenever you are 10 times stronger than your enemy, abuse it. Don't give them time to breathe. Farm the entire map, take everything you can. Just destroy them everywhere. Stop giving them like farm. A lot of games are getting AFK because people think like, yo, let's just go farm. But the problem is then, the enemies have better late game. and you might actually lose the game because of that. Just because we were fighting them so much and we were forcing, the enemies don't have so much farm compared to us. If you just look at the net worth right now, Sven has 15k, Wraith King has 10k. That's basically not good for them. Just because we were pressuring, taking a lot of farm off the map, and we were just killing them over and over again because we understood we are strong and we can do whatever we want. Even as 2 or 3, we can force them. If somebody's like staying in the front and I'm getting like a free game to play, I'm destroying the enemies. Like I have so much good spells to steal this game that I can solo carry if I want to. And if I get the position for it, of course. But right now, I place a ward, we're just forcing together, as you can see. Like, we don't do anything special. We're just forcing together and we're abusing it. Like, right now, as you can see, I stole toss. And I tell my team, yo guys, I want to toss somebody in. Luckily, my teammates are like kind of reacting and the play works out and we're getting a free kill. And then we just push after. The enemies were like probably done after that. But like overall, the good thing is like always, communication and team play is always key. Especially grouping. It's like the best thing you can do in Dota. Whenever you have the ability to do that, group with your team. If you outnumber your enemies, you're gonna win the game. By default. Like, you don't even need to do something crazy. You just need to be together as 5 and fight them. But yeah, I think at this point this game is over because the enemies kind of gave up. Our Sven is way too big and our teamfight is way too good as well. And even though we didn't have like the perfect lane on top and the perfect like other lanes as well, we were actually stomping the enemies just because we were grouping and like team playing earlier than the enemies. And that's like paying off. Big time. If you watched the video to this point, feel free to join my Discord and be a part of the community. The link is in the description.